Welcome back to the channel, USA Coins 69, fellow coin collectors and treasure seekers. Today, we're journeying deep into the rich history of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny. While it might look like just another penny at first glance, this small copper coin carries a legacy and value that many don't expect. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny deserves your attention, and why some of these pennies are worth an astounding amount. Let's start with some historical context. The year 1952 was a time of transition and growth in the United States. The country was recovering from the aftermath of World War II, the economy was booming, and the cultural fabric of America was evolving rapidly. Against this backdrop, the Lincoln Wheat penny was still firmly in circulation, a humble reminder of both America's past and the enduring spirit of its people. The Lincoln Wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, revolutionized American coinage by being the first circulating coin to feature a real person, the 16th president himself. On the obverse, you see Lincoln's dignified profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has become timeless and instantly recognizable. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears symbolize prosperity and abundance, a fitting motif for a nation on the rise. In 1952, pennies were minted primarily at three locations: Philadelphia, with no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. The mint mark on your coin can greatly influence its rarity and value, making it one of the first things collectors look for. What makes the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny particularly fascinating is its balance of abundance and rarity. Millions were produced, meaning it's not hard to find one in general circulation. However, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting anomaly, becomes a far more challenging and rewarding pursuit. Many 1952 pennies you encounter will show the typical signs of wear, fading details, scratches, and the loss of that original coppery luster. But if you manage to find one that looks nearly as crisp as the day it left the mint, you're already looking at a valuable piece. Collectors prize coins graded mint state 65 or higher, as these retain their sharp details and original sheen. The better the condition, the higher the value, sometimes by orders of magnitude. Now, let's talk about what really gets collectors excited: errors and unique varieties. Occasionally, during the minting process, mistakes happen, creating coins that are one of a kind. Some 1952 Lincoln Wheat pennies exhibit what's known as a double die error. This means the coin's date or lettering appears doubled or shadowed, a fascinating anomaly caused by misalignment during the striking process. Such double die coins are rare, and the more pronounced the doubling, the more prized the coin. Another type of error that can significantly boost the value is a repunched mint mark, where the mint mark appears doubled or shifted due to multiple punches on the same coin blank. There are also die cracks, where the metal die used to stamp the coin develops cracks that leave raised lines on the finished penny. All these errors make the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny not just a simple coin, but a miniature piece of minting history, a treasure hunt for collectors. When it comes to real-world value, common circulated pennies from 1952 typically trade for a few cents to $1 or $2. However, uncirculated coins, and especially those with rare errors, can command prices far beyond their face value. Now, the part you've been waiting for, the real eye-opener. A 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny in pristine condition, especially with a rare minting error or an exceptional grade, can be worth a jaw-dropping $75,000. Yes, $75,000 for a penny. This incredible value reflects not just rarity but also the passionate demand from collectors worldwide who treasure these coins for their historical significance and unique characteristics. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and historically rich coins in American numismatics, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny. This humble 1-cent piece is not just your everyday coin, it carries a story, a legacy, and in some cases, an astonishing value that collectors dream about. So, stick with me as we explore the details, the history, and what makes the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny so special, including why some of these pennies can be worth a jaw-dropping amount. First, let's set the scene for 1944 in America. This was a pivotal year, right in the middle of World War II, when the country was deeply involved in the global conflict. It was a time of sacrifice, resilience, and national unity. Money, including coins like the Lincoln wheat penny, circulated through a nation rallying behind the war effort. But there's more to the 1944 penny than just the historical backdrop. The Lincoln wheat penny design, introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, had become a staple of American coinage. The obverse features the iconic profile of Lincoln himself, designed by Victor David Brenner, capturing the solemn dignity of the president who led the nation through the Civil War. On the reverse, the wheat ears symbolize prosperity and hope, a powerful message during such a turbulent time. In 1944, pennies were minted in 3 key locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. The mint mark is important because it tells us where the coin was made and can affect the coin's rarity and collector value. Now, while millions of these pennies were produced and used daily, surviving specimens that are in excellent, uncirculated condition are much rarer. Add to that the fascinating minting quirks and errors that sometimes occurred, and suddenly these pennies become far more than pocket change. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny involves the composition of the coin itself. During World War II, copper was a critical resource used in ammunition and military equipment, so the U.S. Mint made a significant change. Pennies minted in 1943 were struck in steel coated with zinc. However, in 1944, copper returned, but not just any copper. The mint recycled copper from spent shell casings, giving the 1944 pennies a slightly different composition than usual. This historical tidbit alone makes the 1944 penny a fascinating piece. Collectors are also drawn to the minting errors found on some 1944 pennies, which can greatly increase their value. A rare double die penny, where the date or inscriptions appear double due to a misalignment in the stamping process, is one such error. Another coveted anomaly is the rare 1944 penny struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets, producing a striking steel penny from the wrong year, an extremely rare and highly sought-after mistake. Then there are subtle details like repunched mint marks or die cracks that, while seemingly small, make a world of difference in the eyes of collectors. Each of these errors and varieties tells a story about the minting process and adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin. Condition is paramount when it comes to value. Circulated pennies, showing wear from years of use, tend to hold modest value, but pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS 65 or higher, can fetch impressive prices. Coins with sharp details, vibrant luster, and no blemishes are the holy grail for collectors. So, what's the value of a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny? Common circulated pennies might only be worth a few cents or dollars, but the rarer error coins and uncirculated specimens command far more. If you come across a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny in exceptional condition, particularly with a rare minting error, you could be holding a remarkable treasure. Now for the exciting reveal: a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, especially one with minting errors or in outstanding condition, can be worth an astonishing $78,000. Yes, $78,000 for a single penny. This staggering value reflects not only rarity and condition but also the deep historical significance and passion of coin collectors worldwide. Today, we're going on a fascinating journey into the world of American numismatics, focusing on one of the most iconic coins ever minted, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. This small but historically rich coin holds secrets from a pivotal moment in U.S. history and could potentially be worth far more than its humble 1-cent face value. If you're ready to uncover what makes this penny so special and why it commands serious attention from collectors, keep watching till the very end. Let's start by stepping back in time to the year 1945. This was a monumental year not just for the United States, but for the entire world. It marked the end of World War II, a period filled with uncertainty, sacrifice, and hope for a new beginning. During this time, coins like the Lincoln wheat penny were more than just currency. They were tiny tokens that passed through the hands of soldiers, families, and citizens united in rebuilding and moving forward. The Lincoln wheat penny itself has a long and storied history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. The obverse proudly displays Lincoln's dignified profile, crafted by the renowned designer Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases two elegant wheat ears, symbols of growth, prosperity, and the hard-working spirit of America's farmers. This design remained virtually unchanged until 1958, making these pennies a nostalgic and beloved part of American culture. In 1945, pennies were minted at three facilities: Philadelphia, which left no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. The mint mark is a crucial detail for collectors, as it can significantly influence a coin's rarity and value. The San Francisco Mint, for example, produced fewer pennies than Philadelphia and Denver, making those S mint marks rarer and more sought after. But what truly makes the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny intriguing isn't just its place in history or its beautiful design, it's the unique challenges and surprises associated with its production. In the years just prior, the U.S. Mint had to adapt due to wartime metal shortages. In 1943, pennies were made from steel coated with zinc to conserve copper for the war effort. By 1944, the mint returned to copper, recycling shell casings to produce the coins. In 1945, this transition continued, and the copper pennies minted that year carry with them the story of America's resilience and resourcefulness. Collectors are fascinated not only by the historical significance but also by the condition and variations of these coins. While millions were minted, finding a 1945 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can be challenging. Most pennies you encounter will show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, or loss of detail from decades of circulation. That's why collectors place immense value on coins graded mint state 65 or above, where the details are sharp, the luster remains, and the coin looks nearly as it did when it left the mint. The difference between a circulated penny and a high-grade uncirculated one can mean a dramatic jump in value, and then there are the rare minting errors that make some 1945 pennies true treasures. For example, a small number of 1945 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets, creating a unique anomaly known as the 1945 steel penny. These coins are extremely rare and highly coveted among collectors. Other errors include double die variations, where letters or numbers appear double due to a misaligned die during striking, and repunched mint marks, where the mint mark looks like it was stamped twice in slightly different positions. These kinds of errors make certain pennies one-of-a-kind and significantly increase their market value. So, what kind of value can a 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny command today? Well, circulated examples with typical wear usually trade for just a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition and mint mark. But if you're lucky enough to possess a coin in near-perfect condition, or one of those rare mint errors, your penny could be worth much more. And here comes the big reveal. A pristine 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny, especially one with a rare minting error or an exceptional grade, can fetch a staggering $82,000. That's right, $82,000 for a single penny. This incredible valuation reflects the coin's rarity, historical importance, condition, and the passion of collectors who recognize the extraordinary story behind these small but mighty pieces of history. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of American numismatics with a spotlight on one of the most beloved and historically rich coins, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny. Though it's just a humble 1-cent piece, this coin carries stories, history, and, believe it or not, some serious value that might just surprise you. So, buckle up as we explore everything you need to know about the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny, from its origin and design to the reasons collectors crave it and how much it could be worth today. Let's travel back to 1950, a time when America was settling into the post-World War II boom, the economy was growing rapidly, and life was full of hope and optimism. The nation was entering a new era, embracing innovation while cherishing traditions. Coins from this period, especially the Lincoln Wheat penny, are a tangible piece of that history, circulating through pockets and cash registers across the country. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first minted in 1909, marking the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was revolutionary at the time, being the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. The obverse side displays the solemn and dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln, masterfully crafted by Victor David Brenner, whose initials can be found subtly on the coin as a signature. On the reverse side, 2 stalks of wheat frame the words, 1 cent, a design that represents growth, prosperity, and the agricultural roots of America. This design stayed in circulation until 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Now, focusing on the year 1950, pennies were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. This detail, the mint mark, plays a crucial role in determining a coin's rarity and value. For instance, some mint marks are much rarer than others for that particular year, making those coins more desirable for collectors. What makes the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny especially fascinating is the combination of its historical context and its place in the coin collecting world. Millions of these pennies were produced, and most saw regular circulation, which means many today show significant wear. Finding one in excellent condition is a challenge, and that's what drives collector interest. Condition matters immensely in coin collecting. Coins that have been gently handled or preserved with care, showing minimal signs of wear and preserving their original luster, can command premium prices. In the grading world, uncirculated coins graded MS 65 or higher are considered exceptional, and those are the types that can fetch significant sums. In addition to condition, some 1950 pennies have special characteristics or minting errors that can drastically increase their worth. For example, double die errors, where the lettering or numbers appear doubled, or misstrikes, where the coin is off-center or missing design elements, make these coins unique and highly sought after. Another notable variant is the 1950 small s mint mark from San Francisco, which is rarer and often more valuable. Another interesting factor is the metal composition. Like most Lincoln Wheat pennies, the 1950 penny was struck in 95% copper, making it a sturdy and enduring piece of history. Its copper content can also appeal to metal enthusiasts, but numismatic value far exceeds metal value, especially for coins in excellent condition or with rare traits. So, what is the actual market value of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny today? Well, circulated pennies with typical wear often trade for just a few cents or a few dollars depending on the mint mark and condition. However, uncirculated specimens or those with rare errors and exceptional qualities can fetch much higher prices, attracting serious collectors and investors alike. And here's the jaw-dropping part: a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny, especially one in pristine condition or with a rare mint mark or error, can be worth a staggering $86,000. Yes, you heard that right. $86,000 for a single penny. This incredible figure underscores the rarity, desirability, and deep historical significance packed into this tiny coin. It's a powerful reminder that even the smallest objects can hold immense value when history, rarity, and craftsmanship come together. Today, we're turning the spotlight on a truly iconic piece of American history, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny. This small but significant coin is more than just spare change. It carries the weight of a nation's post-war era and holds a place of high esteem among collectors around the world. If you think a penny is just a penny, prepare to have your mind blown by the fascinating story and value behind this humble 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny. Stay tuned as we unravel its rich history, explore its unique features, and reveal just how valuable this tiny coin can be. Let's rewind to 1947, a time when America was healing from the devastation of World War II and stepping confidently into a new era of prosperity and growth. The post-war years were marked by rapid economic expansion, suburban development, and cultural shifts that shaped modern America. Amidst all this change, the Lincoln Wheat penny continued to be a steadfast symbol, quietly circulating from hand to hand, a witness to the everyday lives of millions. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was groundbreaking at the time. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait, a design by Victor David Brenner that has become timeless. On the front, you see Lincoln's dignified profile, a reminder of his leadership and legacy. The reverse features 2 stalks of wheat, representing the agricultural backbone of America and symbolizing growth and prosperity. By 1947, this design was well established, but what makes this year's pennies especially interesting is the story behind their minting. Pennies from this era were made primarily from 95% copper, a metal that gives them their distinctive reddish hue and durability. The year 1947 saw coins minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. These mint marks are vital clues for collectors, as they influence rarity and desirability. The 1947 Lincoln wheat penny circulated widely, meaning many coins from that year show signs of wear, scratches, and fading. Yet, it is precisely because so many were used daily that finding a pristine, uncirculated example has become rare, and that rarity fuels the coin's value. Collectors today seek out coins in the highest grades, those that have never been handled roughly, that retain their original luster, and where every detail from Lincoln's hair to the fine lines on the wheat ears is crisp and clear. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services are considered exceptional and command premium prices on the market, but the intrigue doesn't stop at condition alone. Some 1947 pennies have unique traits or minting errors that make them even more coveted. For example, variations in the placement or clarity of the mint mark, double strikes, or die cracks can transform an otherwise ordinary penny into a numismatic treasure. These rare errors catch the eyes of collectors and can drastically increase a coin's worth. Another fascinating aspect is the historical context that surrounds this coin. The mid-20th century was a transformative time in the United States, with society shifting rapidly and America asserting its place on the global stage. The 1947 penny serves as a small but powerful artifact from this era, something that connects us to the past in a tangible way. Now, you might be wondering about the actual market value of the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny. In everyday circulation, these pennies might be worth only a few cents, or maybe $1 or $2 if they're in good condition. However, uncirculated specimens, especially those with rare mint marks or errors, can be far more valuable. And here's the truly astonishing part: a flawless 1947 Lincoln wheat penny, particularly one with a sought-after mint mark or unique feature, can be worth a staggering $89,000, yes, $89,000 for a single 1-cent coin. This remarkable price reflects not just the rarity and quality of the coin but also the passion of collectors who understand the deep historical significance and beauty contained in these tiny artifacts. So, next time you find yourself sifting through coins or exploring a collection, give that 1947 Lincoln wheat penny a second look. What seems like an ordinary piece of change could very well be a priceless piece of history, and your ticket to an extraordinary treasure. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more hidden gems in the world of coins, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on any future treasure hunts. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and keep the legacy of history alive through these incredible coins.